a beverage titan from Hungary, known as the Hell Energy Drink Company, has been forever written into the annals of time, for they have achieved the astonishing feat of crafting an AI-based elixir, an ambrosia of unparalleled vitality, entirely orchestrated by artificial intelligence. Yeah, no kidding, the company has used artificial intelligence to analyze ingredients, sales figures, consumer feedback, health research, and industry trends to create an energy drink that will dwarf all of its pitiful, impotent competitors. So by asking the AI to mix the right balance of vitamins and amino acids, this energy drink has a formula that was completely AI derived. And after creating hundreds of different flavors, the winning flavor was called Tutti Frutti. But I'm assuming that name's temporary or something, because that's not that cool of a name for everything else they're doing. In fact, I had GPT-4 come up with some names. It did a much better job. Steel Stallion, Maximum Ignite, or even Ironclad Surge would all be better names. And Hell Energy Drink is also using artificial intelligence to help influence the packaging and design. And that flavor and packaging has already passed a rigorous control board with blind tasting. So it shows how extraordinary these capabilities are becoming. And now this new energy drink is set to debut in over 60 countries worldwide. So Tutti Frutti should be on store shelves ready to kick you up a notch by the end of the year. So check out this new robot that Chipotle is rolling out called Autocado. Like, I love avocado, obviously, and cutting it open, scooping it out, I don't love that part. But look at this machine. I could eat so much avocado if I owned this. So you dump in a whole bucket of them, and I guess you turn that knob up depending on how much you want out of it, and I'll just be like, crank it up all the way. Actually, I didn't notice that knob before. That's kind of hilarious. Like, what is that knob? Like, how close to the edge you want to get? Puts them on the conveyor belt, so one by one they drop into that thing. Now, I wish I had a better shot of this. I've been watching it in slow motion, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Okay, but if you turn it up to maximum brightness and we go frame by frame, you can see these two little white things. I think they puncture the seed out of the middle and just like pop right down the center. And I think I can see the one half here and the other half here. Okay, then we go frame by frame and it looks like it's putting it together. Now what happens at this point, I'm slightly unclear on. But my theory is there's kind of a twisting mechanism, because if you see this little thing here, it kind of looks like it's moving up. So now look at this shiny rectangle right here. It's going to move inward somehow. So something's happening where maybe squishing it together is what I'm thinking, like squishing it out. Frame, frame, see it moving in? What's that? And now it's reset to the next avocado somehow. Look, and we pull it apart and the puncture is there, the two sides are there. What happened? But this is obviously high-end engineering. Now this screen also gives me a few clues. You can see all of the inside, the yummy part of the avocado separated here, but still in its form factor. And on both edges, you see a tray with all of the skin, the outside, the shells or whatever. So something in the middle, I think, drops it. And then it pulls the waste apart, drops that, then comes in for another. And what's with all these lights down here? Is that heat? Is that like a flame? What are they doing, boiling it? And then you just simply manually smash it all together, which actually seems like the easier part for a robot to do, to tell the truth. I wonder why it doesn't do that part too. Make it just one layer taller. But that's the future of avocados today. Autocado. Coming to a Chipotle near you. Will artificial intelligence ever be able to master the art of smell and taste? Well, in this article, Todd Moses explores the possibilities of training artificial intelligence in chemistry to understand taste. So Moses outlines how these things that are called volatile compounds, like terpenes, aldehydes, ketones, phenols, and thiols, words I haven't heard of, but I guess that's what makes smell and taste from a chemistry point of view, and can be isolated and found in various foods. So you can kind of measure why something tastes the way it does, and then teach that to an artificial intelligence. And from that, an AI neural network can be trained on what the unique composition of good flavor is. For instance, the terpenes that we talked about offer the distinctive flavor of citrus, where the aldehydes are more associated with sweet, nutty, and fruity scents. And through that understanding of the difference between taste and chemistry, AI can come up with some really remarkable new flavors. And it's starting to come up with pairings that you wouldn't expect, like strawberries and balsamic vinegar, or watermelon and feta cheese. But this is cool. In fact, the researchers that are working on this project think it might be a great way to lower the cost of great tasting food. Lower cost, same flavor pizzazz, win-win. All right, we're gonna go there. Now, let's talk about deep plant intelligence. You know, like deep learning, but for plant intelligence. Anyways, this is about vegan cheese. Did you know that artificial intelligence is playing a crucial role in revolutionizing vegan food? Yeah, it's helping with the creation of better tasting vegan meats and cheeses. So notably, this company called Climax Foods is utilizing an AI platform called Deep Plant Intelligence to develop vegan cheeses, which closely resemble dairy products, but they're vegan. The company has successfully invented an artisanal vegan cheese that have even garnered the approval of a Michelin-starred chef. Imagine being able to just take a photograph of whatever you're about to eat, and that will analyze using AI how many calories are in it. And on top of that, it would also know things like how much protein and carbs and all that complicated dieting stuff. Well, there's a company called SnapCalorie that's doing just that. And I thought this was a great idea because it's exactly what computer vision is good at doing. Machine learning can take a photograph and you can label it with a human labeler who actually made the food or knows about nutrition, and that acts as perfect training data. Plus, it's not just a photo. Most cameras have a depth sensor and it's using that information embedded into the photo also. And the depth sensor is important because it knows how far away it is from the food, which gives it a much more accurate understanding of the size. And the size of the food is important for understanding the overall calorie count. And this company says they're using a data set that has 5,000 labeled photos. So those photos were created by chefs and they knew all the nutrition in them. And once you know what the food is, you can take photos of it under all sorts of different lighting conditions and different variables that would actually correlate to the real world, but it's still the right nutritional information. Genius idea. Got a feeling this is going to be a big company. So now let's talk about food delivery, especially getting that food to people who are underprivileged and starving all over the world. Let's talk world hunger. So this beefy, military-looking, all-terrain Sherp vehicle is actually a food delivery system. And for the past couple of years, these soon-to-be autonomous, all-terrain vehicles have been delivering food. But the humanitarians that are actually delivering this food are in quite a bit of danger every time they make this drive. And the violence is even escalating, so this is a bad situation where autonomous vehicles would be really helpful. And of course, I don't even want to get into how bad it is that just trying to deliver free food to people who are in need is a dangerous thing, but that's just the reality of the world we live in. But the idea for these autonomous delivery trucks actually started during the Syrian conflict, and it's been in development for years now. And right now, the UN has about 50 of these vehicles making deliveries in South Sudan. And although they are running today with human drivers, these vehicles have mostly been running in fully autonomous mode, just with a little bit of course correction, so they're almost ready to go with no humans. Now, the AI systems have been collecting data about the environment from various sources, and that includes satellites and sensors and trying to find the best way to actually guide these things autonomously. Now, sadly, right now, South Sudan is dealing with severe food insecurity, and they have limited access to any kind of outside help due to flooding. So it's exciting to see artificial intelligence hopefully able to step in, because if there's no humans at risk, we might be able to put a lot more of these on that path. Let me tell you about this model that's created by Lunchbox AI. And the goal is to create more realistic food than actual photos of real food, which in theory is impossible, but with AI, it can make it a little more tempting and a little more believable than the real thing actually. And you could probably guess, but the world of food photography has been upended by all these text-to-image models. Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, they generate really good looking food. But Lunchbox AI is an image rendering platform that's made specifically to sell food, to make food look professional. Arguing that when you can see food, you get higher sales. So maybe something in the future like Grubhub, when you make an order, it can just put all the food together onto a tray, even if it's a custom thing, and then you can see your order before it's even built. All right, so let's try some honey with a yellow background. I mean, it looks like Stable Diffusion to me, but clearly these kind of tools are becoming indispensable for food photographers. You know, that extra little saturation or whatever it is that just makes you want that over some other menu item? Like this prompt, minimalistic, elegant potato slices served on a square, freshly baked rye bread. I mean, so simple. Scallops on a green sauce. Getting hungry. Minimalistic duck with sweet potato. Mwah, magnifique. Some of the fast food restaurants were integrating tools like ChatGPT into their drive-thrus. So yeah, there's been progress, and a new update coming is going to make drive-thrus cool and different and weird. So imagine rolling up to your favorite fast food restaurant, and instead of hearing a teenager going through puberty, you hear the big belly laugh ho 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 of Santa Claus. Or Darth Vader on May 4th. Or if you roll up any random day, you get the voice of Ellen DeGeneres playing Dory from Finding Nemo. You know, because she's forgetful, that way maybe you forgive them if they forget your fries.
I forgive you.
Well, the developer Presto Automation, which is behind a lot of these new fast food interaction systems, is introducing custom voices. We've seen the text-to-voice synthesis and how good it's getting. So I guess it was only a matter of time before restaurants could pick their favorite celebrity or a voice of a mascot. But that day is about to come, and there's even going to be seasonal options. Imagine spooky Halloween goblins, or the friendly Easter bunny, or even a St. Patrick's Day leprechaun. That is the future of fast food drive-thru. Speaking of custom rebranding for fast food restaurants, here's what some famous mascots turned supervillain would look like. Give me your thought in the comment section. I mean, do you get supervillain McDonald's vibes from that? I can't help it. It's always the Matrix. With the KFC guy, I always see the Matrix guy. What is that? Oh, Chick-fil-A? Yeah, that would be, more like Thanos Chick-fil-A, I guess. That's definitely Harley Quinn meets Wendy's, so I like that one. But most fast food restaurants don't want to be associated with supervillains, so how about anime? Colonel Sanders is looking pretty ripped for all that chicken. I guess lots of protein. Starbucks girl? Yeah, I guess I could see her in an anime. What is that? Is she a mermaid? Is that a mermaid? Is the woman in the Starbucks logo a mermaid? Holy crap, she is a mermaid? I don't know why, I just thought it was a close-up, like, is Wendy a mermaid? Specifically a two-tailed mermaid? No. All right, side note, but let's just check this out. Oh, those are the two tails of the mermaid? I don't know what, I guess I just thought that was like energy around her, maybe her arms or something? Huh. Is the woman in the Wendy's fast food restaurant logo a mermaid? Oh, I so wish it would have been like, yeah, she's a mermaid too. They live together or something. Probably know this, but Wendy is not a mermaid. Anyhow. All right, there's Wendy and Ronald hanging out. Burger King anime style. It's cool. Dude, Dairy Queen? She could make a cameo in Frozen 3. Hamburglar even has the gloves on, no fingerprints. I've never heard of Tavana. Maybe that's an East Coast thing. That could be Jack in the Box. Kind of looks like a cop or something. That is so Arby's. That's Arby's. Come on, they nailed that one. Jollibee. The fast food restaurants probably wanted something even a little more classy than that. So what if Balenciaga redid the mascots? New style, new fashion trend? You be the judge. Balenciaga, I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
Oh my gosh, look at that animation. That's creepy and crazy and cool. Crazy. Oh, that's cool. They even did some animation to the face. AI is getting so advanced. Dude, that's a different Hamburglar. What is that purple logo? I don't even know. Is that Wendy? High fashion Wendy? Oh yeah, never frozen. That's their slogan. Oh, the Colonel, man. Oh, the Colonel looking sharp. The King's having it your way. Is that Jack in the Box? Or what's the rabbit? Carl's Jr. maybe? A Little Caesars. Dude, the cartoon, he's like so short. Balenciaga. But if you're not so much into real food as you are 3D printed food from stem cells that have been grown in a giant Petri dish and turned into a 3D printed slime ink thing, I have got the food for you. And it comes from an Israeli company called Stakeholder Foods. They are now producing the first 3D printed fish fillet. To make this whole thing work, they first took a fish, they extracted fish cells, then they nourished them in what I imagine is some kind of Petri dish type thing where they could multiply. And then over time, they made it so that they actually aged into muscle and fat cells. So they harvest that, they mix it with some other plant-based ingredients, and they end up with what's called a bio ink. Just like you think like a printer ink cartridge, but it's not ink, it's actual edible cells of fish. But the 3D printer just cell by cell layers it all together and just 3D prints an actual fish fillet. This video, that's exactly what it's doing. It's printing the food. All of those cells grown separately from an actual fish. This is not a fish. I mean, it's now a fish, but it's made from scratch. Truly cell by cell from scratch. And look, she's smiling while she talks. It's really tasty. So the only problem is that it's still a lot more expensive than actually just getting a fish fillet the old-fashioned way. But the way that this company built their bio-ink process, they're now gonna start doing it with Gruber fish and eel, which are more expensive. So maybe it'll be more competitive when it's about buying eel that's 3D printed. And I know you have some of that YouTube bio-ink with you right now. So could you do me a favor and 3D print a subscribe button right now? And then smash it!